Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bookeemonsters. My name is PK and it is Thursday, December 28th, and we will be looking at new releases set into the wild this week. There's not a whole lot this week because of the holiday, but we will look at what we can. And being Thursday, we try to look at science fiction and fantasy. There are a handful, and there's one big one that came out on Tuesday, so we will look at that. I hope you are having a good day. I thank you very much for watching. If you are watching it live, if you are watching it on replay, I thank you for that too. Be sure to hit the like button and please tell your friends. The more the merrier. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. And we do have sprints tonight, so I hope you come to that as well. And let other people know that that is time carved out for you. It's at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern, because I get here as quickly as I can after work, and I live about 25 minutes away from work, and then I have to walk Keel real quickly. So 6:05 my time is the quickest I can get here consistently. So that is why that. Let me get rid of this banner. And I need some coffee right away. Okay. You've almost finished with Going Infinite. Have only about 5. Oh my goodness. That is like 99.9% done. Did you like it? Sounds like you were learning a lot. I love it when that happens. All right. So we will jump into this, and we'll start with the big one that came out today. We close that tab. Whoa. The one I had chosen, hang on a second. We're having some technical difficulties. With our finishing, well, then maybe we'll do that one. Hang on a second. Okay. We'll have the other one just in case. Okay, here we go. Mary said, I learned a lot, and a lot of it I didn't understand. The maneuvering of the crypto. That is something I don't understand and would like to learn more. But it was interesting, and I'm not sorry that I picked it or stuck with it. That is a good thing. All right. So the big fantasy release this week was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. And this is the sequel to the first book. This is in the Letters of Enchantment duology. As far as I know, there is only going to be 2 in this. And the first book is called Divine Rivals. Yes, you should read the first one first. And this one is interesting in the fantasy world because it is in a sort of fantasy. It reads like a World War I book with fantasy elements and a strong romance elements to it. It was really good. I read the first one in October, so this one just came out this week. 2 weeks have passed since Iris Winnow returned home, bruised and heartbroken from the front, but the war is far from over. This has 2 gods warring each other. The Roman is missing, and the city of Oath continues to dwell in a state of disbelief and ignorance. When Iris and Addie are given another chance to report on Dacre's movements, they both take the opportunity and head westward once more despite the danger, knowing it's only a matter of time before the conflict reaches a city that's unprepared and fracturing beneath the Chancellor's reign. Since waking below in Dacre's realm, Roman cannot remember his past, but given the reassurance that his memories will return in time, Roman begins to write articles for Dacre, uncertain of his place in the greater scheme of the war. When a strange letter arrives by wardrobe door, Roman is first suspicious, then intrigued. As he strikes up a correspondence with his mysterious pen pal, Roman will soon have to make a decision to stand with Dacre or betray the god who healed him. As the days grow darker, inevitably drawing Roman and Iris closer together, the two of them will risk their very hearts and futures to change the tides of the war. I am smiling because if you read the first book, it did kind of end on a cliffhanger, but you also were wondering, how does this continue? And this author seems to have found a really neat path. So I am looking forward to this. I do have this in both ebook and audio. I listened to the audio for the most part last time, so I'll probably go audio again as I crochet. But I'm kind of saving this for after the first of the year, so I get a really good start to 2024. But reading that makes it sound so good. All right. So if you're thinking of dabbling, love the title of Ruthless Vows. Yes, isn't that amazing? If you have not read fantasy and you are concerned about fantasy elements that you don't really, you have a conception of what fantasy should be, this is a good way to dabble your toes into it. It's familiar enough to say a historical mystery set in a World War I kind of setting, but the fantasy elements give it a little bit more magical feeling, and the strong romance will definitely pull you in. So I do recommend starting with the first. And again, there's only two, so it's not a huge commitment. All right, well, let us go. Now, I kind of did a little pre-scouting to make sure what I found was definitely being released in this week. And again, there weren't a whole lot, but this was one of them. Isn't that an interesting cover? Hunted by the Alien Berserker, which sounds like a Harlequin title set in a fantasy sci-fi setting. And it probably is. This is 19th in the Warrior of the Lothar series by Mina Carter. She's a pilot, not a people person. What does she know about keeping a bunch of women alive on an alien planet? Even worse, said planet has alien cavemen intent on carrying them off to their lairs to do whatever it is alien cavemen do to their captives. Yeah, that doesn't take a genius to figure out. When the women she's trying to protect manage to get themselves captured, it's up to Maeve to track them through an alien forest with unknown dangers and rescue them. But she didn't count on becoming prey herself, or the handsome white-haired caveman who came to her rescue and who insists on protecting her even if they don't speak the same language. Sparks flare and she can't keep away. What's a little crash landed on an alien planet romance going to hurt? But then his lies are revealed and she realizes that the stakes are far higher than she thought. Now, isn't it interesting? I had this thought before, and I might have even verbalized it, that romance in a fantasy setting is called romantasy. Romance in a more science fiction setting is called like space porn. I don't know. But I don't read typically that type of book. When I read science fiction, I prefer humans in space, exploring space, going up against evil galactic empires. And I even prefer, one of my favorite science fiction authors is Nathan Lowell. And it is just a human in space dealing with cargo. And I love it. I love it. And Mercedes Lackey has a new book, and I double checked. This is not a re-release. As far as I can tell, this is a new release. This is called Valdemar, third in the Founding of Valdemar trilogy. The refugees from the Empire have established a thriving city called Haven with the help of the Teledras and their allies, but the Teledras have begun to show withdrawal begun a slow withdrawal to the dangerous lands known as the Peligurs. I apologize, I will not pronounce these correctly, leaving the humans of Haven to find their own way. But even with Haven settled, the lands around Haven are not without danger. Most of the danger comes in the form of magicians taking advantage of the abundant magical energy in the lands of Teledras have cleansed, magicians who have no compunction about allying themselves with dark powers and enslaving magical beasts and the elementals themselves. Cordus, his family, and his people will need all the help they can get. When a prayer to every god he has ever heard of brings Cordus a very specific and unexpected form of help, the new kingdom of Valdemar is set on a path like nothing else the world has ever seen. I have to admit, I have not read any Mercedes Lackey. Lucero by Maya Montaigne, third in the Forgery of Magic series. Interesting cover. Thrilling finale. About a face-changing thief and a risk-taking prince who must save their kingdom in the final battle between good and evil magic. In the aftermath of Sombra's return, the balance between light and dark magic has been destroyed and chaos has broken out in Castellan and around the world. Sombra's shadows have taken over to create monstrous versions of everyone Finn and Alfie love, and with war between Castellan and Englis looming, the prince and the thief must band together one last time to save their entire world. To stop the magical imbalance, they must find the stone relics of Sombra's body before the god can unite the pieces and regain his full strength once more. But the laws of magic no longer apply, and with their own magic and even the laws of time itself drastically changing at every turn, Finn and Alfie are left on their own to stop Sombra and fulfill the prophecy before it is too late and the darkness reigns. Will they restore balance to the world, or will its light be gone forever? This one sounded interesting. Righting Old Wrongs. World Rights Book 1 by Maria Grace. This is Kindle Unlimited. Controlling fire, earth, water, and air with a simple touch would have been much more impressive if it paid the bills. For nearly 200 years, the Wrights have controlled the elements, shaping them to their will, but the new era of industrialization threatens their extinction. Journeyman Wright Rebecca Fuller has more important things to worry about, though, like paying bills and keeping a roof over her head. Unfortunately, she inherited her father's debts along with his shop. With the guild limiting her prices, even a brisk business barely makes ends meet. But if only the guild would consider her application for mastery, but between having the audacity to be female and studying under the most unconventional master in the guild, her chances were as thin as air. Unfortunately for Guild Undersecretary David Enright, barrister, procedural maven, and all-around rule follower, the guild violated its own rules where Rebecca was concerned. With her irascible temper and unorthodox approach to working the elements, she is exactly what he wants most to avoid. Unfortunately, he can't simply ignore her. Rule following aside, though, what she knows, what she can do, could be the key to saving the Wrights from extinction. Audacious barely describes David's strategy to right old wrongs. If Rebecca agrees, his plan could solve both their problems or cost them everything. Again, this is being listed as book 1, so there are supposed to be more books. It sounds, again, like if you want to dabble your toes into fantasy, this is very much like a Regency early days of industrialization with a touch of magic. Let's see. Alice Avatar by Charles Lamb. This is also Kindle Unlimited. This is being released on Sunday, December 31st. Kindle Unlimited has its own schedule. The disappearance of a routine patrol has the humans scrambling for answers as they investigate the possibility of a new phaser weapon. Research back on Earth uncovers a technology native to the inhabitants of Reaper's world that has far reaching implications for the future of all artificial life forms on Earth and in space. Finally, to add to all General Jake Thomas has on his plate, a fundamental change in his relationship with Alice could land his personal life on its ear and upset a decade of stability all in one swoop. That looks like it's book 7 of the Alice series. Dreams of Dragon Lords, book 6 of the Dragon Lord Annals by B. Malachi Dunn. Again, being released on the 31st. 364 pages. The realm is at peace. The second dragon strife is a distant memory, along with all those who fought in it. Trade is flowing up and down Erin's canals, and the line of succession is clear. However, all is not well. The king has had his mind warped by some unknown force, driving him mad. Now the only person able to stand up to him is his son, Prince Aemon. And while the king's mind deteriorates, strange cults are rising across the kingdom as people are vanishing in large numbers. Whether as victims or willing recruits, these cults pose a deadly danger to the people that Aemon must curtail. While her brother attempts to hold the kingdom together, the young Princess Rhaella has been visited in her dreams by a strange figure, one that has been vital to the longevity of the line of Aemond. The Pale Maiden. Soon she will reveal herself, and the world will be changed. All right. That is all I was able to scout out ahead of time. I believe next week will be back to full strength in the new releases. There is a couple more here. Let's see what this is. The Dragon Game Memoirs. This is middle grade, 246 pages, Kindle Unlimited. Will be released on the 29th. A Throne of Crimson and Ash, a dark fantasy romance. Book 1 in the Hunted by the Crimson Queen series by Jessica Ashe. 1 of 2, so it's only going to be a duology. What if Prince Charming was a bad boy? He brushed his mouth against hers. She tasted of fall, sweet cider and fresh crisp air, and the warmth of the late afternoon sun. She tasted of home and hearth, all the things he'd thought he'd given up, all the things he'd thought had come his way again in the form of this luscious woman. He needed more, he wanted more. The whiskey burned inside him, blending all his pain and need. There would probably be people clamoring about permissions and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So these are just some others that they are saying is being released. I've not checked them out to let you know if they're so. In the couple minutes we have left, we can do a quick little scan of the other cozy mysteries coming out this week. I think we were around in here. We did the anchovy one. Slaughter at the Seaside by Tyler Rhodes, second in the Max's Campervan series. Secret Cookies, Cookie Corner number 9 by Cindy Stark. Death on Tremont Row, number 5 in the Higgins and Hawk series by Lee Strauss. Turn Over a New Lead, 5th in the Poppy Perkins series by Jasmine Webb. Secret Christmas Conundrum, A Sweet Cove Mystery by J.A. Whiting. That's a cute little cover. Shadow of Doubt, Spies of Texas, number 5 by Brittany E. Brinegar. Halloween Cupcake Murder by Carleen O'Connor, sort of off season, but there you go. By It says Carleen O'Connor, but then we have these other two names here. Okay. The Sunset Years of Agnes Sharp by Leonie Swan. T is for Taken. Haunted Tea Room number 8 by Karen Sue Walker. The Case of the Poisonous Petals in Las Vegas. Tiffany Black Cases number 17 by A.R. Winters. A Hopeless Rodeo by Daniel Carson. Hope Walker number 12. Murder and a Cosmopolitan, Sunrise Cafe number 3 by Elizabeth Clover. Trust the Terrier, Coral Shores Veterinary Series by D.L. Mitchell. Death on a Silver Platter by Joanne Pence. This is number 1 in the Cook and Inspector series. Criminal Snowflakes, Alex Moore number 3 by Una Madison. Candy Canes and Croissant by Wendy Meadows. This is Snow Falls, Alaska number 6. Book Drop Dead by Dale Ivan. Meg Booker Librarian number 2. Haunted Hunches, Whirlwind Witches number 1 by Alley Cat. Happy New Year Murder, Reporter Roland Bean number 8 by Rachel Meadows. There you go. There's one to read for the week if you're looking for something extremely seasonal. A Murder at Brighton by Magda Alexander, Kitty Worthington number 8. Calculated in Color, Dakota Madison number 2 by Trish Arrowwood. Murder with Mayhem, Sylvia Shipman number 8 by Blythe Baker. Deadly Speed, Jazz and Gin number 3 by Carolyn L. Dean. Deadly Dares and Splitting Hairs, Megan Henney number 5 by Remy London. Ma Tut's Hawaiian Delight, Mac the Magical Cat number 4 by Lynn Perry. And The Lifeless Listing, Spooky Shanty Realty number 2 by B.F. Skinner. And that is it for December. All right. We made it. We got them through. You found much more than I thought you would be able to. Me too. We were kind of scraping the barrel there. Very foggy here this morning after 2 days of drizzles. Oh, I bet that was so nice. Just made a Waldorf salad for a lunch I'm hosting today. Nothing big, but late Christmas with friends. That sounds so nice. The problem with so many of these for me is that there are so many books in this series before you even get to the one that is the latest. True. Fortunately, a lot of those are just, they're under 200 pages, so not a huge commitment that way, but there are some, definitely. Have a great day and hope to see you later at Rosanna's. Thanks, as always, for taking the time to do this. Always interesting. Well, thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate you keeping me company this early in the day. I hope you guys have a good Thursday. Again, we have sprints tonight at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. It'll go for 2.5 hours. I would appreciate if you guys want to come spend time. If you don't, that's okay too. It's still a work week. We do have sprints on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow morning, we have the morning show, and we'll be looking at more historical mysteries for the Midwinter Mist Readathon starting in January. So some things to look forward to. So as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.